Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, sitting down after a hard day of work. And what do you know? WWE Hall of Fame rumors starting to roll in. It looks like one of the first names that are going to be added to the WrestleMania 36 Hall of Fame class is going to be none other than Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. I can honestly tell you that the Bellas did change a lot in the eyes of divas in the WWE. Of course, them breaking through and getting a reality show when they came back to WWE after they took a break. They were gone from the company for about a year to a year and a half. I believe. No, maybe it wasn't even that long. Because they left after WrestleMania 29. Of course, their WrestleMania match was cut. No, that's when they came back. Shit. Well, they were at WrestleMania 28. They were a part of that big, I think, like Team Teddy, and they were on different sides, Team Teddy and Team Johnny. WrestleMania 29. So how long were they really gone for? WrestleMania 30, they were there. WrestleMania 31, they're champions. So they weren't even gone a year when they left WWE, I'm guessing. Shit, I'll tell you the truth. I don't even know. I know they were gone for a little bit. And, of course, they come back. They kind of like came back on the plans of getting the reality show Total Divas. They were, of course, were pretty much the main stars of season number 1. They brought in John Cena. They brought in Daniel Bryan. That was one of the big hooks that got me involved. Getting to see like the backstage stuff is what I cared more about than anything else. That was one of the big draws to the first season. Of course, was the Bellas being on different side of the SummerSlam match between John Cena and Daniel Bryan, where Bryan, of course, beat John Cena in the main event when Cena had that big, huge growth on his elbow, and then, of course, got cashed in by Randy Orton, which really led to WrestleMania 30 and Bryan getting that championship back. But I'll tell you this much. When the Bellas first came in and they got brought up to the main roster, there's lots of stories about how they were on the road and how they were in developmental and how they got to where they are. But, when they first got brought up, of course, I think one of them would wrestle and one of them would hide underneath the ring. That's where the whole Bellas twin magic started from. Of course, the one thing that you can remember is that I think the tag team of Victoria and Natalia, where one was pulling on one and one was pulling on the other from the other side of the ring, and all you could see was legs and arms, and you're like, are they stretching her out? How big is she? And then, of course, once it was revealed, then they sort of became their own team. I think at first, Brie was really looked at as the best wrestler of the group. She was the first one to win a championship. She held it for a little bit. But when Nikki really got on the ball, shortly after WrestleMania 30, when she went on that really long run with the Divas Championship, she really got good. I mean, when they damn well came to it, you can talk about maybe it wasn't the best, women's wrestler in the United States or in the world. I get that. But when it comes to the wrestling that was in WWE, she really, I don't know if she, just listened to John, if she worked with Daniel, whatever it was. She had matches that were good. It wasn't just heel heat of when is she going to lose this championship. So you can say what you want to about these girls, but I really think that when it damn well comes to it, they probably deserve to go in the WWE Hall of Fame more than some of the women that have gone in the past few years, because I think that, where the women's wrestling is today, if you didn't have Brie and Nikki kind of getting that reality show off the ground, whether if you like it or not, and putting more eyes on the product for girls like Charlotte and Becky Lynch, Bayley, all of these girls really have a spot to wrestle on this main event scene. It wasn't just Ronda Rousey came as WWE and all of a sudden now we got to make the Divas part of the main event. It was the building up to that, and I think Nikki and Brie were two of the main ones that really got them to that point. Them coming up on the stage, I'm guessing they're going to be very, very pregnant at that time, which is going to be one of the focuses of the next season of Total Bellas, maybe even Total Divas. And, that'll be kind of fun to see. I mean, some of the stuff that they always give us, like the behind the scenes at the Hall of Fame is always pretty fun. So we'll have to see how that gets in there. And of course, now it's looking like John's going to be a part of the WrestleMania build. So, maybe one of the things is John and Nikki going to cross paths. I know that when they had their breakup, John didn't want to be a part of Total Bellas. Maybe that was just part of the buildup of the show. That they said that when Nikki was packing up her stuff to leave, they couldn't record there. Maybe that's real. Maybe it's BS. But I don't know. Will they keep their pass? I can really honestly see a moment with Nikki and John, with John wishing her the best, giving her congratulations. I would guess that he's already done that privately, but I think John for the WWE would do it publicly. It makes him look good, makes the show look good, and all that jazz. So Bella's going to the Hall of Fame. I'll give it the John Cena approval. I think it's going to be pretty cool. We all knew it was coming.